In previous video, we discussed about if a material is given, how to identify whether the material is a metal or non-metal. So by using the physical and chemical properties, we can find out if it follows all the physical and the chemical properties, then the given material is a metal. If it does not obey that properties, physical and chemical properties, then the given material is a non-metal. So like that we can find out. Now in all the chemical properties, for example, if you take sodium is very faster react in with water, means it is immediately reacting with water, but other metals do not react. And iron react in the with air, components of air, and it forms iron oxide, that will call it as rust. Means the reaction of the metals are different, so that we'll discuss in this video. So that we'll call it as reactivity of metals. Reactivity of metals. Here, reactivity of metals. For this, you have to take 5 beakers. How many you have to take? 6 beakers you have to take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have to take like this beakers. How many you must take? 6 beakers. You have to take 6 beakers, and in each beaker you have to fill with water, some quantity of water. And you have to name it for each beaker. A, 6 beakers, so you have to take it as beaker A, B, C, D, and E and F. See, beaker A, this is beaker B, and beaker C, D, E, and F. So name it, all the beakers, that 6 beakers. Then after naming, you take the chemicals. It contains some metals. For this beaker A, you just take the copper sulfate powder. So in this copper sulfate, copper is a metal. Copper is a metal. So you take the copper sulfate powder for a beaker A and beaker B. So take the copper sulfate powder in beaker A and in beaker B. Next, in beaker C and D, take zinc sulfate powder. Actually, this copper sulfate powder is in blue color. When you dissolve this powder in the water, you will get the blue color solution. That water becomes blue. Now take the zinc sulfate and dissolve in the water. You will not get any color. Mostly you will get white in color. Next, you take the iron sulfate. You take the, here I wrote in the symbol that you will learn in the 9th class. Because I don't have space to explain on this board, so I wrote it in the symbols wise. See here, iron sulfate, FeSO4. In the short form, we'll call it as iron sulfate. So this is the symbol. Actually, the original name of chemical name of this FeSO4 is iron sulfate. So take E and F beakers, iron sulfate powder, and dissolve in the water. Actually, iron sulfate is in maybe in a black color, I think so. So take these chemicals and dissolve in each beaker. In first A and B, you take this copper sulfate. It is in blue color. You will get the blue color solutions. And C and D, you take the zinc sulfate powder and you dissolve it. And in the remaining 2 beakers, you have to take the iron sulfate powder and you dissolve it. Then to that solutions, again you take, for the beaker A, you add the zinc granules. Again, for this solution, you add the zinc granule to this. Actually, it is in the blue color. For this blue color solution, you have to add the zinc granules. Next, for the beaker B, due to the copper sulfate, this solution also it is in blue color. For this, you have to take iron nails. That you take in the, just put it in the solution. Next, zinc sulfate solution for C and D. So you take the copper turnings. Copper turnings means a pieces of copper metal. Turnings means pieces of copper metal. Just you take it this copper turnings in beaker C and beaker F. The copper turnings, you must put it in beaker C and beaker F. Next, in D and E, you take the iron nails and in zinc granule. So like that, to each beaker, again you must add all these. And leave it that beakers, means up to some time you should not disturb. Okay, leave it. Then after some time, if you observe, there are changes in the color of the beakers. That we'll discuss. First, it is due to the copper sulfate, the solution is in blue color. But after adding this zinc granule to this, then after some time, the blue color disappears in the solution. Due to addition of this zinc granules to this, in the beaker A, the blue color disappeared. And we will get red color powdered substance at the bottom of this beaker. Blue color disappears and the red colored mass of the copper is deposited at the bottom of this beaker. Means what? Here whatever the copper sulfate is there, and when you are adding to the zinc granules to this beaker, what happening? First it is in blue color, but after some time when you are adding this zinc, then it changes into which color? The blue color disappears, and here at the bottom you can see the red color mass of the copper is deposited. Means when you are taken the copper sulfate powder and react with the zinc, here I am writing in the symbolic form, but in the 8th class you don't have this, but you have in 9th class. So when you take the copper sulfate, CuSO4 will call that. The zinc sulfate will represent with the Zn. So when these two react, what happening? This zinc combines with the copper sulfate and it forms zinc sulfate, and the copper is separated. For example, suppose this is a bench. In that bench, 3 students are there. And in one more bench 2 students are there, but here one student is there, not 2. So this student wants to combine in this, so here there is no place. Then what he will do? He will occupy this place and he will send the one student to this bench. Means he is stronger and he pull one student from this bench and he will send to that bench. So here also, just I gave the example. Here also this zinc is powerful and stronger. So this zinc replaces this copper outside. From the copper sulfate, copper and sulfate are, these two are friends. But this zinc don't want to make friendship, these two. So this zinc pulled this copper out and zinc joined friendship with the sulfate, then they form the zinc sulfate and the copper is deposited, separated out. Due to this presence of copper, the blue color disappears and you will get the red colored mass. Means here this copper is less reactive and the zinc is highly reactive, means very strong. Due to that, this zinc replaces the copper from the copper sulfate. Clear, children? Next, coming to the copper sulfate with iron nails. Copper sulfate with iron nails. So here these iron nails also you will get red color powdered at the bottom of this beaker, and this red color is due to the iron nails. This red color you will get due to this iron nails. This also I will explain. So in the second beaker, first you are taken water in that. Next to this you are added CuSO4, means copper sulfate. to this sulfate you are taken as iron nails. You are taken as iron nails. Earlier, before adding this iron nails, the solution is in blue color. But after adding the iron nails, the solution turns into the red color, and you will get at the bottom of that, whatever the iron nails are there, they are changed into the light green color. They are changed into the greenish color. So this is due to these iron nails also, they are stronger or very reactive, and these reactive metals, they are displacing copper metal from the copper sulfate. Once again, here copper sulfate, these copper and sulfate, these two are friends, they are very close, but iron don't want to make friendship, these two. So what iron did, iron nails, iron removed this copper and sent outside, and iron make friendship with the sulfate, then it forms iron sulfate and copper is separated. Why? Because this iron is stronger than the copper, and the iron is very reactive and the copper is less reactive. Due to that, iron replaces copper from the copper sulfate. Clear it? Due to that, we get at the bottom of that, there is a color change, and there is a color change of the nails. That nails turns into like a bluish, greenish color. Now, coming to the beakers C, D, E and F. In these beakers, there is no change. There is no change. It remains the same. Why? In beakers A and B only you can find out the change. But in the remaining beaker, there is no change, because whatever you are added here, the copper turnings, means it contains copper. This metal is less reactive, weaker. So weaker, they cannot pull this zinc sulfate, zinc metal from the zinc sulfate. So copper is less reactive and the zinc is more reactive. So less reactive metals cannot replace the more reactive metals. But here copper is less and the zinc is the more reactive. So more reactive metals can replace the less reactive metals. Even for iron also, when you compare the zinc and the iron is less reactive and the zinc is more reactive. So less reactive metals cannot replace zinc metals, means more reactive metals. Say here also zinc, iron. Copper cannot replace iron, means a weak person cannot pull a stronger person. Same here also, some metals are weak and some metals are strong. So the weak metals cannot replace the higher reactive metals, but the higher reactive metals, they can replace the low reactive metals. So this is about the reactivity of metals. If you have any doubt in this explanation, please ask me questions through WhatsApp. Okay, now so we discussed about reactivity of metals. Now we have metals and non-metals. So we discussed all the properties. What are the uses of metals and non-metals? First we'll discuss about the uses of metals. We have so many metals. So first, if you take the silver metal, you can use it as an ornament, and you can use it as for the decorative decoration for the sweets, as a layer for the sweets. You can use ornaments, silver ornaments, vessels, not utensils, and you can make it chains, ornaments, like that you can use this silver. And if you find out the aluminum also you can use in the rice cooker and normal cookers. The material is used as aluminum only. It is very cheaper than all the metals, and it is lightweight, and it will not corrode like iron, or it will not there is no color change. Aluminum is unreactive with the oxygen. And next, and for the packing of food materials, this aluminum is used. Aluminum, where will use sheets also, we are using this aluminum sheets. Aluminum wires are there. So many uses we have. Next, if you take the zinc metal and the iron metal, these two metals are combined, will get a mixture. This mixture is used in the preparation of iron sheets. In the preparation of iron sheets. Next, when if you take aluminum and copper, aluminum metal and the copper metal, when these two metals are combined, you will get a mixture. This mixture is used in the preparation of the currency coins, 5 rupees coins, 10 rupees coins. Now Modi introduced the 100 rupees coin also. So in the preparation of these coins, this aluminum and these copper metals are used. That combination of two or more metals, will call it as an alloy. We'll call it as an alloy. So through single metals, they cannot prepare the item. So for the preparation, to get the strongness and to get the desired properties, they will mix either two or more metals. So the combining of two or more metals, will call it as an alloy. So these are all the alloys. And this they can use in the preparation of the currency coin, medals, and in the preparation of the statues also. This aluminum and the copper mixture is used. Now coming to iron tools. If you take the iron tools in the construction part, bridges, roofs, and in the agriculture, all the tools are made up of iron things only. Next, most of the metals, they are used in the electrical appliances, automobiles. So if you buy auto, bus, rickshaw, not rickshaw, and car, whatever, train, aeroplane, all the bodies are made up of metals only. They are not using wood or plastic. So satellites, aeroplanes, cooking utensils, machinery, decorative materials, and all these, the metals are, they are using the metals. So these are all the uses of metals. Now I'll discuss about the uses of non-metals. Here in our textbook, they are given only 3 non-metals. They are the carbon, sulfur, and iodine. Carbon is nothing but, we'll call it as bogu, means it, in that we have this carbon. Even in the diamond also we have carbon, and in the graphite also we have carbon. So we'll discuss. First, if you take the non-metal sulfur. Sulfur is used in the fireworks, crackers, in the gunpowder, matchsticks, antiseptic ointments. And this sulfur in our daily life, it is exist in the onions. In onions we can get sulfur, and in the eggs, and in the hair and nails also we can find sulfur. Now coming to carbon. So this carbon is used as a decolorizing agent. This suppose if you see this hair dyes and all, they are using this carbon. So this is used as a decolorizing agent, and in the water purification also this carbon is used. Now iodine. Iodine means we get the tincture iodine. This tincture iodine is used in the medical purposes. So these are the uses of non-metals. Now I completed lesson 4, and in next class I will give the notes and worksheet. Thank you.